Very recently, I was speaking with a senior leader at work. I was chatting to him about being a guest on the podcast that I'd mentioned that I co hosted. His response to me was he didn't really like hearing the sound of his voice, so he would have to think twice about coming on the podcast. And my response was, you are in good company of the 99% of people who don't like to hear their own voice. But as soon as I said that, I realized I'd spoken too soon. This is not based on statistics. I mean, I just drop a number by saying 99%. But even if it was in good company of the 99%, there's that 1% or more, the type of people who actually like the sound of their own voice, who constantly like to hear themselves speak. The kind of people that you dread having in your meetings. We've all been in those kind of meetings, or we've hosted such meetings where you're wondering, what exactly was this meeting just about? Like, what happened to my time? They just wasted my time. Why did I even sit in this meeting? Let's fix that today. Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Koinsola and I talk about career growth, confidence at work, and how to navigate your career journey or your professional journey with clarity. Today, we're going to be talking about how to host meetings that don't waste people's time. Before you send out that meeting invite, you want to be clear on what the agenda for the meeting is. Why is the call important? Why can it not be said over email? Why do you need to bring a group of people together to spend their time to sit through your meeting? So you want to start with purpose. Is there a decision to be made? Is there an alignment to be reached? Is there a problem to solve? If your answer to all of this is no, then you don't need a meeting. If your answer to any of this is clear and you're sure that you need a meeting, then you want to write an agenda that is clear. Your agenda can be something like, we're meeting to resolve blockers on ABC, or we're meeting to take a decision on XYZ. If you're adding new people who don't have a background to what the issue is, you want to provide a bit of background in your invite. That way, everyone can come to the meeting prepared. One of the worst things that can happen is to have a meeting where you don't have all of the required stakeholders. It's a waste of time to the folks that have showed up. You want to create a watertight agenda. A watertight agenda looks like this. What are the topics that you intend to discuss on that call? The individuals or the resources that are expected to take on each topic, how much time they have, and what the expected outcome is. So if you're coming to a decision, what are the different factors that would help you arrive at your decision? Who should discuss each of these factors? Maybe you're giving them 10 minutes each. 10 minutes sounds like a lot, but maybe 5 minutes each. And then what decisions or what outcomes you're expecting to take as a result of that meeting. You also want to send it ahead of time. No last minute surprises, please. Like I said before, you also want to invite only the required people. If a meeting is for somebody's awareness, include them in the meeting minutes and let them get a copy of it. They don't need to be in the meeting. They don't need to be invited. If somebody is not required to make a decision, or they are not helping you troubleshoot, or they have nothing to add in the meeting, there's no need to have them on that call, right? First of all, I think having too many people in the first place, disrupts your meeting. It takes you off tangent. You want to protect people's time because this builds trust. Again, I want to encourage you to start on time. Many times, this may not necessarily be within your control. And I say that even as somebody who experiences this as well. You may need specific stakeholders to start your meeting, but as much as possible, start on time so that you can end on time. If you are the one who has booked the meeting, you want to be the timekeeper of that meeting as well. keep the conversations on track. If somebody is bringing up a topic that is not part of your agenda, you want to say something like, let's take that offline, or let's pack that for when we've gone through the agenda of this call. And then if there's more time, you can talk about that topic, but as the host of the call, you want to ensure that you are the accurate timekeeper. Being a good timekeeper builds trust as well. People just need to know that they can get off early. Otherwise, what would happen is you'd have people dropping from your call. And by the time people are dropping off, you wouldn't have done any recap. You wouldn't have come to any decision. You wouldn't even have discussed the next steps. As the host of the meeting, you also want to be the facilitator. Now, facilitating the meeting doesn't necessarily mean that you are dominating the meeting. Facilitating the meeting will be something like you inviting quieter voices to speak. You can ask for their thoughts, their opinions. It's also something like gently redirecting those people that like to hear the sound of their own voices and talk extensively. Those people, they have the tendency to go off track. You want to be able to steer the direction or steer the conversation back to the agenda. You will also be responsible for recapping what has been discussed. As a, as a facilitator, you would also be summarizing discussions or decisions as you go along in the meeting. Trust me, a meeting without guidance becomes chaotic. Before you get off the call, you also want to recap everything that has been discussed. So, for example, what decisions did you come to? Who is responsible for taking which action? What is the expected turnaround? And if you are to reconvene, when should the next meeting be planned for? Lastly, you want to send meeting notes to everyone who has joined the call. Also, not just people who have joined the call, you also want to include people who should be aware of what discussions you've come to. Your meeting notes can be high level. It can be as simple as discussing the actions that need to be taken, who is responsible for taking those actions, the due dates for each of these actions, and whatever else you think to add that may add value. Now, that's how you run meetings that don't waste people's time. If this was helpful, hit like, subscribe, remember to share as well. Now, I will be looking forward to your comments. Have you ever been in that meeting where you felt like it was a complete waste of your time, or if you thought that the meeting was unnecessary and whatever was discussed could have been said over emails? Let me know. I'll be looking forward to chatting with you. Until next time. As a facilitator, as a facilitator